You're watching Inside Automotive with Cheyenne Malone.
Hi everyone, I'm Cheyenne Malone. Service departments grow their bottom line by maximizing every service visit. And while there's a lot of money to be made, consumer preferences are also shifting. Joining us now to talk more about this, Chris Schaubert, Fixed Operations Director of Ron Marhofer Auto Family. He's here to give us some insight to some of the things that we don't see necessarily and behind the scenes, especially when it comes to fixed ops today. Welcome, Chris.
Hey, welcome. It's so great to be here with you today.
Yes. So obviously you oversee 5 dealerships and 2 collision centers.
Yes.
Talk to us about, what you're seeing in the market right now as it relates to fixed ops.
Absolutely. So we're seeing a pretty consistent trend coming through the door. I would say on average from a peak season, we're doing pretty well with consumer traffic. But I would say that things could be a little bit more through the drive. What I would say is that we are seeing some of the traffic go out to some of the side businesses, such as a Take 5 or Valvoline or NTB. So we're definitely coming up with creative ways right now to be able to make sure that we've got that customer retention and that we're ready for more customers. The great thing for us is that we've had some good success with bringing in technicians and hiring great service advisors that are really helping us to go to the next level and be ready for the customers now as we look to increase our door traffic.
And that's just half the battle, right? Getting some good techs on board. Talk to me about some of those creative things that you're coming up with to get people in the door more.
Absolutely. So, in the last couple months, we have really focused on our express service departments. And although we are getting some great traffic that coming in from some certified technicians that have just heard about some of the things that we're doing, the way that we want to engage and take care of our technicians. We provide some great additions, I would say, to just being a technician. Some of the little incentives that techs look for and how they take care of the technicians. And maybe that's the way that we do our uniform process, or the fact that we provide them a complimentary pair of boots, safety boots, every single year. We have a boot truck that goes around and that's fully complimentary to the technicians. They come on and get whatever is most comfortable for them on the truck. And obviously they've got a wider range on there. But one of the things that we've done is we've also built up our express department so that the express team understands and focuses on what their journey looks like to become a mainline certified technician. So we actually have brought on a trainer who's our express trainer that goes around to all of our dealerships and works every week with every single express technician, making sure that they understand how to do an appropriate multi-point inspection. And then also, how can they become faster and more efficient at the repairs that they're doing or the services? If they're just doing an oil change tire rotation, are you focusing on what time you're hitting right now so that they can become really efficient at the job they're doing? And then they're even going to be a better mainline technician when they get to that level. So we've started an internal process, which I would say that some of the things that we put together is really helping the word to get out. And we've had a lot more interest from outside technicians, like I said, to want to come into the group from a lot of various programs that we put in place.
And then what about the consumer side of things, right? Because I feel like the, demand changes a little bit. Maybe people want, convenience, mobile services perhaps. What are you seeing the wants?
I think it's all in what you present to the customer base. So for us right now, we are working on adjusting to having a few more things readily available. Our shuttle service by itself is very busy and customers take advantage of that. But we haven't yet started to do some of the Lyft or Uber services that kind of work or coincide with some of the programs that we are currently using. We're potentially looking at that in the future. But right now, it's just having the right people in the right place. So we've hired a few shuttle drivers that is their main focus while they're there, especially at our Hyundai locations. We have so many customers at those locations that we just want somebody readily available with the shuttle to be able to take them all throughout the day. And we keep those shuttle drivers on the road majority of the day right now. So we try to provide in those conveniences, and we're looking to expand. Obviously, we're in 2024, right? There's a lot of things that are coming to the market that are going to add that convenience level, and we want to make sure that we're ready at the same point and have the right people in place to be able to utilize those services.
About what percentage of EV services do you provide?
I would say that we're definitely less than 5%. We have definitely been dealing to a certain regard on selling EVs. Obviously, they're not coming back through the service department. Our Nissan store, some of our Hyundai models. We deal with a lot of questions. We actually have a lot of customers that come in to get. They may not be close to us, but some of our sales traffic, it could be from other states. They come in just to get the vehicles. One of the things, the challenges that we've come up against is the cold weather. And a lot of the consumer base is ready to see the efficiency and how an EV vehicle operates. And one of the things that we've had a lot of questions about is why is the battery not getting up to full charge, or what is exactly happening? And a lot of our cold temperatures here have really, I would say, brought consumers to make sure that they're making the right decision on if they want to operate that vehicle in the cold weather conditions or not, depending on how they feel about the battery. And, for us, like I said, our sales traffic has picked up a little bit, and our service traffic has not really been hindered at all by the EV. The combustion engine is doing fantastic as far as sales, and we're really not seeing a downtrend in that to switch over to an EV.
Since EVs, don't need as many service calls in general, does that concern you at all? Because that would somewhat impact your bottom line, I would assume.
Yes. I don't, as a whole, it does not concern me at all. Everything that I've been seeing, the way that cars are still being serviced and the cars that we have coming through our doors, like I said, we have not seen a downtrend at all. And to be honest with you, we've kind of seen, like I said before, we've seen an increase in sales, but we haven't necessarily seen a decrease in combustion engine sales, which for me just means that we're bringing in a different market to increase all of our sales on the EV side, but it's not taking away from the traffic that we've already had when we're selling just a common everyday combustion engine vehicle.
Any certain initiatives that you guys are pursuing?
I would say that we're focusing right now on having the right partnerships for 2024. I think that's a big thing, making sure that you're talking to the right vendors, partnering with the right people. We have just made a large move to partner with Bowtie Solutions, which is an outbound call center, just to have that consistency in the voices that our customers are hearing. We can say and send out mail. We can do a lot of various things, emails. But there's still something about that connection with the customer, that voice, the text, and then the follow-up phone call. And so they've been a great resource for us to be able to have that continuation of the phone call to our customers. And we've seen a large uptake in appointments just from utilizing their services. We've been talking with some of the executives at X Time to make sure that we are functioning with our product. We use DealerTrack and X Time to make sure that we are focusing on our sold percentage. It's great to have a tool, but are you using it to its fullest extent, right? So we've been focusing on making sure that our advisors are pushing everything out to the customers, and that every suggestion that comes to the advisor is a quality suggestion coming from either a mainline technician or express. So I would say that our main initiative in the beginning is to make sure that every vendor that we are using, we know the return on investment that we have, we know the partnership that we have. For us, for me, I really focus on what's my connection with that vendor and how are they working for me. I don't just want to do an initial sign up and then check it 6 months later. I want to have an engagement with that vendor and a partnership. And so those are some of the things that we really focused on at a different level here in 2024.
Any final thoughts before we say goodbye, Chris?
Well, it's I would say as a whole, we have gone through some interesting times in our service departments where we have been at times really backlogged, especially in our Hyundai stores. But to be honest with you, across all of our locations, we have Buick GMC, Chevy, Nissan, and then 2 Hyundai locations. And at times we've been backlogged. But the one thing that we've found to be interesting is you really have to find a balance and make sure that when you get to those backlogged scenarios and situations, which you do at times in the service department, but make sure to watch that your customers don't feel the repercussions from that. The customers that may not have those situations that get into a backlog scenario, right? The ones that want to just come in for general maintenance, or the ones that just, have a vehicle that's doesn't have a back ordered part, but they want to come in for maybe a 60 or 90K service, and it's at one of those larger mileage intervals. You've really got to make sure that you focus on the retention of the customer and make sure that they feel valued and not just a part of, maybe you got backed up for a little bit. So have the resources in place to make sure that you can continue the customer retention, because one thing that we've seen is we don't want to get into a position to where we push customers out for appointments 3 weeks to a month, and then all of a sudden we get caught up on work. And what happened? Those customers that got pushed off for a little bit, they felt the repercussions from you being backlogged, and they said, you know what, maybe it's better if I don't say anything, but I just go get my services done in another place that can consistently take care of me. So make sure that you're focused on that. And service drive acquisitions. Hey, we're in a time where the best car that you can take in for your used car lot is one from your customer, maybe one that you know the service on, the history on, and you can retain that customer. Make sure that you are active in your service drives and that we're focusing on that retention model to be able to bring those customers back in. I think I am a huge advocate. I think that that's our best resource right now. And if you're not active in your service drives to acquire used cars, you've got to be, and you're missing the boat in that. It's such a huge resource for us, and we're going to continue to drive in 2024 in a greater way with it.
Well, great advice. Chris Schaubert, Fixed Operations Director of Ron Marhofer Auto Family. Thanks so much for your insight today, Chris. I think our viewers will really enjoy this. And thank all of you for watching Inside Automotive exclusively on CBTnews.com and now streaming on Roku and Apple TV.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Cheyenne Malone.